We reported earlier in this newscast about how a Central Florida community is dealing with the death of an 18-year-old high school senior just weeks away from her graduation. Osceola County deputies say her ex-boyfriend broke into her home, killed her, then killed himself. This happened yesterday. Now, she had filed an injunction against him because deputies say he stalked her and had made threats. The two also had a young son together.
So joining us now is Michelle Spurzel from Harbor House, which helps victims of domestic violence. Thank you so much for being here. And I just want to talk about the last thing Lisa mentioned about this young lady had an injunction against the 20-year-old who was the father of her child. At the end of the day, that is a piece of paper. And if someone is determined to hurt you, that piece of paper didn't protect her.
No, but it's definitely part of the process that someone goes through when they're really trying to get themselves out of a domestic violence situation and hold a perpetrator accountable. And so it's part of the system that we have, and being in a dating violence situation, the evidence that has to be gathered and the timeline that needs to be gathered in order to press charges is more difficult. And then also that's difficult in general when it comes to domestic violence. And so, yeah, you're right. It's a piece of paper, but it's part of the process to keep people safe.
So you don't want to discourage young ladies from doing that. That is definitely something they should do.
Absolutely. And then also, if someone's underage and they can't file on their behalf, there is the availability for a parent to file on the behalf of a minor who's in a domestic violence or dating violence situation.
Right, and parents have to be part of that process. And parents, need to look for warning signs. It's so frightening as a parent to think that your child can end up in this situation.
Yeah, and some of the warning signs would be, excessive text messaging, or the boyfriend showing up, or girlfriend even showing up at the place of work. And it's just something that, as a parent, you're like, this just doesn't seem right. It's a little bit beyond what would be terms of endearment, or a little bit beyond puppy love. And so that parental instinct to step in and just say something's a little bit off here, and having a conversation with your teenager is really important.
We were certainly surprised when this happened yesterday to hear their ages, just 18 years old, shot and killed. And then just a few days earlier, we've had the story of a girl in Marion County who was going to prom and abducted from her prom by an acquaintance. How common are, acts of domestic violence, if you will, among teenagers who are dating?
Absolutely. It's so much more common than people think. And so really 1.5 million adolescents are touched by violence, dating violence, every year. And about 1 in 3 girls will be touched by an abusive relationship within that 18 to 24 mark. And then really violence can start, and it's starting earlier now because there's so much different types of technology and accessibility. So we're seeing it start younger and younger with our adolescents.
Is that part of the problem, the way we communicate now through text messages and online? Is that why we're seeing younger girls involved in relationships and can end up like this?
I don't know if that's going to be the why, but that's going to be one of the indicators of it. Yeah.
So just a warning for parents. The statistics that you were sharing with us, with how common this really is, and to really be on it, to watch your child when they're texting a lot more so than normal, to maybe question them. What would you advise parents to do?
Yeah, having that open conversation about what a healthy relationship looks like, and setting boundaries. Standing up for yourself when you are noticing your child start to change a lot of things about them, like how they're talking, what they're wearing. Things that when your child was absolutely doing well in school and all of a sudden they're not. Sometimes it's not a sign of alcohol or drugs. Sometimes it's a sign of an unhealthy relationship. And so asking those questions.
And parents, if they are concerned, they can contact Harbor House.
Yeah, absolutely. Contact our Harbor House, contact the hotline, and we'll be able to talk you through different things.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And to read more about yesterday's murder and suicide, go to clickorlando.com. We posted the latest online. You can also find the domestic violence hotline in the story, as well as some of those statistics we were talking about.